few minutes in case someone's having trouble logging in. So just to be sure, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes and then we'll get started. But welcome. It's nice to see some familiar faces and excited that it's working. For you that are just joining, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes to make sure everyone can get logged in. So we will start in just a few minutes. As we're waiting, if you'd like to, you can go into the Zoom feature and list your name if you want it listed under your with your picture, and that helps to make connections. And many I know names, but I haven't had the opportunity to put a face with. So if anyone's interested, at the top there's three little dots somewhere in your box where your name is, and that's where you can add your name if you're interested. That gives us a chance to connect a little better. I've got several minutes after 9 here, so we'll go ahead and begin. I'm Cynthia Wimberly, and I would like to say good morning, at least to those of you who are in this part of the world. For the others, good afternoon or good evening, and welcome to everyone. I'm thrilled that we're able to make connections. Again, welcome to the 23rd World Congress on Viktor Frankl's Logotherapy, honoring the life and work of Dr. Frankl. This year, in response to the impact of the many tragedies worldwide, the focus of this Congress is the imperative of finding meaning and purpose in a troubled world. As the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted all of humankind, we have shared the pain and suffering of this virus and its effects. But we have also experienced the many ways individuals have been able to transcend and sharing with others creatively and experientially. But most importantly, we truly have seen the defiant power of the human spirit soar, in spite of the tremendous suffering experienced in the last 18 months or so. In this spirit of overcoming, let me welcome each of you. It is through the defiant power of the human spirit that we are able to have participants from all areas of the globe. And the problem with giving a list is there's always the chance of leaving someone out. But the last I checked, we have participants from the United Kingdom, Israel, Qatar, Turkey, France, Australia, Finland, Hong Kong, Canada, Austria, Germany, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, New Zealand, China, Croatia, Slovenia, the Republic of Korea, India, and all different areas of the United States. Although I think it's fair to say we would much prefer to be meeting in person, sharing our stories, our updates, our silly jokes and inside stories, and of course our meals as we hug and catch up. However, with COVID, we are thrilled to be meeting virtually. What a long way we've come from the first meeting in 1977 in California to a virtual Congress in 2021. It is due to the hard work of the Congress Committee that this is happening. First, I would like to thank Minda Osmert, who did the majority of the wizardry of making both the website and the Congress happen. Along with Mimo and myself, Dr. Patricia Stark, Dr. Anne Marie Neal, Dr. Jared Bishop, Dr. Jared Bishop, Miles Lorenko, and Daniel Singh met weekly to prepare for the Congress. In addition, the committee, along with the board, would like to thank Greg Clark, whose generous gift, a tribute to his late wife, Joanne Clark, provided the financial foundation for this to become a reality. Thank you, Greg. Before we move to Dr. Bishop's tribute, I would like to cover a few of the logistics of the Congress. First, all sessions will be recorded, and through the recording, attendance will be tracked. The importance of tracking the attendance comes in for those who have requested CE hours. If you have not yet purchased continuing education credits and you are interested in that, you may go back to the website, and the opportunity to purchase the CE credits will be available until the Congress closes on Saturday. If you are able to attend the live sessions, then as we track through that, you will receive a certificate by Monday morning for the sessions attended during the conference. However, for all of us that are needing CE credit, part of the advantage of doing a virtual conference is we have access to this for a year. So for any of the sessions you choose to watch after the Congress is over, you can still accrue CE credit, but you must contact us at info@the.Victor-Frankl-Institute so that we are alerted. We can go back and do the tracking. And then at the end of that time, you can receive the final certificate for the continuing ed credits. At any time you have questions, please email us, please contact us, and we will try to get back with you as quickly as possible to answer those questions. In addition, as part of the APA process, there is a link in each session to complete an evaluation. Even if you are not needing the CE credit, we ask that everyone completes the evaluation. This gives the committee feedback, and it also gives the presenter feedback that we will share with them later. As I've mentioned, each session will be recorded and will be available after the Congress ends. So from October the 24th of this year through October the 23rd, 2022, you will have the availability to watch sessions that you could not attend in person. In addition, during the lunch break each day, or today and tomorrow, we have scheduled breakout sessions for informal meetings. There is no set agenda, no format. Our goal is that it is a time and a place that we can reconnect with old friends and meet new friends. One of the wonderful things about logotherapy is it becomes truly a family. We support each other, we're there for each other, and this is our opportunity virtually to make connections and to share what's going on in different parts of the world and in the different areas that logotherapy has been being applied. At this time, we've had only one participant who will not be able to present. Sabine Indiger is scheduled for today at 10:45. She will not be able to be there. However, she will be sharing her concept Saturday. So as a new diplomat, she will be participating in the colloquium on Saturday afternoon. But again, that session is canceled for today. You may enter each session at the scheduled time. For each of you that are here, you've figured out the process and you are here. All of the sessions are scheduled for 45 minutes. There will be an additional 10 minutes at the end in which the presenter can wrap up, or if he desires or she desires, can answer questions from those that are in the presentation. The chat is disabled because the chat does not allow us to record it. However, the discussion boards will be available throughout each session as they're available now. I was able to see that several of you had already used the discussion board this morning. The discussion board will remain active during the session and will be saved along with the video. So we will have access after the live session to go back and view those, and if the presenter desires to connect in any way to answer questions. After the 55 minutes, the room will close. And so that will be, there will be no opportunity to continue any discussion. If you have any questions or problems, please refer back to the email you should have received early this morning. You can always contact us at the info at Viktor Frankl Institute. We have a very dedicated team working behind the scenes. I will say the majority of them are much younger than I and much more savvy than I with technology, so they will be able to answer your questions much quicker than I could do. But let us know. We want this to be an enjoyable experience for everyone. This Congress is itself an example of many who went above and beyond to make this a reality. Each of you who are participating are examples of those who are living logotherapy. And I want to say again, thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for presenting. When we were planning this Congress, Dr. Barnes was the president. Having known Dr. Barnes for a number of years, as many of you have, when he became ill this summer as vice president, there was a little bit of concern in the back of my mind, but honestly, he always rallies. He always got better. He always overcome. And I kept thinking, we have one more year. He'll make one more Congress. And so when he wasn't able to do that, I want to say the only way this Congress is happening is through the hard work of the committee, through the hard work of all of you, and especially through the support of Dr. Dorothy. So thank you. As you know, no person better exemplifies the defiant power of the human spirit than our beloved Dr. Robert Barnes did. He truly lived the concepts of logotherapy up until his last breath. And it is in his honor we dedicate this Congress. At this time, Dr. Bishop will be sharing his tribute to Dr. Barnes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jared Bishop, and as Cindy said, our World Congress today is dedicated to Dr. Robert Barnes, who made his final transition in July. I'm here to share about Dr. Bob's contributions to logotherapy and our institute that he faithfully served for over 28 years. I first met Dr. Bob in the spring of 2008. I was completing my undergraduate degree in psychology and had no idea what was next in my life. I was exploring several different options, one of which was the Counseling and Human Development program at Hardin-Simmons University. And my story is very similar to many other students in that I scheduled a meeting with Dr. Bob, and after 30 to 45 minutes, I left that meeting with a copy of Man's Search for Meaning, an assignment to read the first 100 pages, and a schedule for graduate coursework in counseling and human development. I still didn't know what my purpose in life was, but Dr. Bob saw something in me, and he pointed me in a direction that allowed me to discover a meaning for my life. That is a gift that I truly can never repay. My life was forever changed by one 30-minute meeting in Abilene Hall in Abilene, Texas. And I know just looking around that I am certainly not the only one. Long before I ever met Dr. Bob, our institute was established in 1978. While Dr. Bob was not a founding member, he became involved early in the history of the institute. In the 80s, he served as the chairman of the institute's Education and Credentialing Committee and was vice president from 1990 to 93, before becoming the president of the VFIL in 1993. Dr. Bob was a faithful and dedicated president for 28 years. His tenure saw dramatic changes in the world through which he guided his beloved institute. Dr. Bob saw that logotherapy is needed in the world. In a world filled with trauma, he often quoted Nietzsche, "He who has a why can bear almost any how," and Frankl, "Suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds meaning." His mission through the Institute was to spread this message of meaning and purpose to a suffering world. In order to do this, he taught logotherapy at the university. He organized over a dozen of our world congresses, where practitioners and researchers in logotherapy shared ideas and created a community. Our World Congress is a fellowship of unity, peace, and shared purpose. And in previous years, it has always closed with the International Friendship Breakfast, which is, I feel like, a wonderful representation of our unity as humanity, is made richer through our cultural differences. Dr. Bob's personal touch has made our World Congresses more than just a conference. His insistence on including meals, such as that International Friendship Breakfast, a Texas line dance, has created a sense of camaraderie and connection. Dr. Bob was actively involved in the planning of this Congress up until his last moments. And I very fondly look back on our planning meetings each Monday alongside the rest of our amazing team. Dr. Bob advocated for the spread of Viktor Frankl's ideas around the world by emphasizing and strengthening the curriculum offered by our institute. Our education program has grown immensely in the past 28 years. He also encouraged and supported the creation of new institutes of logotherapy on 6 continents. And I see several of those institutes represented here today. Alongside all of his professional accomplishments, Dr. Bob was a living embodiment of logotherapy lived. While there were certainly many trials and suffering before I met Dr. Bob, during my tenure as his graduate assistant, I was present through a period of major deterioration in his physical ability and a great deal of physical pain. But transcending his physical challenges and suffering, Dr. Bob's defiant spirit overcame. He adapted to new realities of the limits of his body and never relented in striving to achieve his life's meaning through teaching and supporting others. And through it all, his love for Dr. Dorothy was a shining beacon, and her love for him was a sustaining force. Even though he was in pain and suffering, he never showed it. We were all greeted with that beaming smile and "Dear, fill in your name here." Through the years, the challenges grew and multiplied, but they could not contain Dr. Bob's spirit. His life truly is a monument. Shortly before Viktor Frankl's death in 1997, Frankl wrote, "It comforts me to know at this time in my life, a significant part of my legacy is passed into the hands and entrusted to the leadership of Dr. Robert Barnes. He represents logotherapy at its best." As I have reflected on these words, I'm struck by the enormity of the hole that Dr. Bob's final transition has left behind. However, Dr. Bob's words ring in my mind to focus not on what is lost, but what is left. What remains is a tremendous legacy and a model for teaching and living in a meaningful way. He has left us stories, which was his preferred method of teaching, that has enriched our lives. He has poured into us and encouraged us. And for so many of us, he has brought us together in an international community. I love it that even though he is not with us today, he is with us today and in this community. I'd like to close our opening with a passage that was written by Dr. Bob, which I think encapsulates his life philosophy, as well as an encouragement to all of us as his legacy. He wrote, "A human being shows himself to be truly human by the amount he transcends himself. One meaning of our life is in the light we have brought into the world. The light we brought into life is eternal. It can never be made into darkness. What we brought into reality, we bring into eternity. The harvests of our life represent the sum of our accomplishments. Our harvests are brought in due time into our personal granaries, where they are lovingly invested in the lives of others by the Creator of us all. May the awareness of God's love ever increase, and may your life be one of meaningful service to others." So I know Dr. Bob was a very meaningful person to each of us, and I'm very thankful that we can all be here to continue his legacy. That is our opening for this morning, and so we're going to transition now to our opening plenary session, which is Alex Battiani from Austria, and it will be, if you click on that session, we should all be there soon. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Again, if you have any problems, please get us an email and we will try to address those as quickly as possible. And I will see you in about 6 or 7 minutes in the keynote session.